recycled materials. Now, I want you to know that turning waste into wealth is logical. When you want to turn waste to wealth, you have to know that it is logical. So before we talk about waste, turning waste into wealth, we must first of all understand what waste truly means. What is waste? What do we mean by waste? I can say that waste is the perceived end, the end point of something that was formerly celebrated and now it is now discarded. And I want to also let us know that it is something that it is materials that are seen to be discarded, no longer useful for anybody. Then I can also call it rubbish or garbage, something you don't need of, something that is already forsaken. But the truth of it is that waste is not the end of value. It is just a value that is actually placed in the wrong place. Like while I was coming here, I saw a lot of recyclables out there, but to some people, if you find out in the shopping malls, supermarkets, in about 5, 6, 7 years ago, you find out that what the people actually did is that some of them will be thrown, on the bare floor because people are not yet conversant with what waste is. So the waste that we are seeing is not actually waste. They are actually values that are misplaced in the wrong place. So, let us now look at wealth because we are talking about turning waste into wealth. Now, what is wealth? Wealth simply means riches generated through deep thinking and intentional action. Wealth is what you have when you apply your initiative with an intention action. So it also means having abundance and being in control of valuable resources. Now, when you talk about a state of financial well-being and freedom, you are talking about being a wealthy person. I'll still tell you about my own little story and encourage you that you can do it. Somebody tell yourself, say, I can do it. You cannot do it the way you are sounding. So beat your chest, say, I can do it. The first person that can encourage him or herself is yourself. If you can say, I can do it, which means you can do it. Say, I can do it once again. Now, what do we mean by turning waste into wealth? Turning waste into wealth means seeing opportunities where others see scarcity and poverty. In Nigeria, after the economic downfall, after the lockdown, everything had not remained the same again. We thought that after the coronavirus, we are getting free. After that, the NSAS. After that, you find out that economic meltdown. The amount we do buy fuel before is not what you are buying it before. Before, if I buy a fuel of about 10,000 naira or 15,000 or 20,000 naira in my car, I can go a very long trip, but not now again. You will only manage it to move from point A to point B. But however, I want you to know that there is still abundance in this very Nigeria. And I pray for somebody here that you are going to be qualified to turn your waste into wealth. Can I hear you say amen? I've told you, I said you should forgive me because I'm a pastor, okay? So, now, I said turning waste means seeing opportunities where others see scarcity and poverty. It means thinking differently and acting where others hesitate. It means you are identifying hidden values and covering it into financial gain. When you talk about turning waste into wealth, you are talking about grasping opportunities and scaling them into something bigger, larger, and greater. When you talk about turning waste into wealth, it means to be advantageous of the things that are around you that people are not actually seeing. I do tell people that those who hear what others cannot hear, and those who see what others cannot see, and those who sit where others cannot sit, will eventually stand where no man can stand. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you can see what others cannot see, you can hear what others cannot see, and we can hear what others cannot hear, and you can sit where others cannot naturally sit, definitely you are going to be enthroned where others feel that you cannot be enthroned. So it is all about opportunity. You can turn waste into wealth. So, beloved, I want you to know that everything starts with your mind. Everything starts with what? Please, can I hear you talk? Everything starts with the mind. It starts with the mind. Your mind is your gold mine. That is where you can mine the money that is coming into your life. If you are poor, it is all about what you are thinking. If you are rich, it is because of what you are thinking. I'm not talking about what you inherited from your father or your mother. You know, there are some people that when they are born into a wealthy family, as soon as the father or the mother died, they go bankrupt. Why? Because their mind is not rich. They are just flowing in riches. That's all. So it starts what? With the mind. And I do tell people that your mindset is your mind get. What do I say? Your mindset is your mind get. What you set in your mind is what you are going to get in your hand. There is no two ways about it. So if you see waste as useless, it will remain useless. I could remember some times back, maybe about 5 years ago, I was just gathering this pet bottle for no reason. Maybe it was my mind or God or the nature that was making me to gather it. As I was gathering it, my wife just took it one day and gave it to these abokis. You know aboki now? All these scavengers, and just gave it to them very in large quantum. And I said, why? My wife said, this thing is littering the house. And she also paid the aboki and thanked them for carrying this thing. Said, thank you so much. When we have, we will call you. And aboki said, I go come back again. So I was on the TikTok one day, about 1.5 years ago, and suddenly I saw somebody doing recycling, and she was, talking about that thing in the middle of the night. And that is why I want you to, from today, turn your handset and connect with your mindset. You must connect your handset with your mind. Are you getting me? There is something that you can do that can actually help you. You don't do TikToking. Some of us are here as we are talking. Opportunities, information is flying, and they are talking to their friends. How far now? I never chopped this money. And you are in a place where you can make wealth out of your life. So I saw it on the TikTok that very night, maybe around 2 o'clock. Because my strength is in the night. I'm not a witch that flies, but I'm a man that plays with the phone. I do a lot of things. I surf on the phone at night. So what I saw was an opportunity. And I said, I can do this thing. And I will do this thing. And all of a sudden, I started packing by myself. We will still get there, because I'm going to where the main problem is. The main problem of recycling. So I started taking from, the ones we used to have in the house. I started packing it somewhere. I parked it at the balcony. My wife's, then we went at a rented house. So my wife was telling me this thing is too much. My last baby was telling me, Daddy, this thing is littering the house. I said, leave it there. So I took some to the balcony, and after that, I started getting the company, and I took it there. And before we knew what was going on, it became large in our hands. And the first time I took it to, where I was going to cash it out of money. I said, so this is how to make simple money. So what I'm telling you today is that you can turn your waste into wealth. People will see me, I told the convener the other time that, there are some things that you need to know about these things. You must not be ashamed if you want to start this thing. Because if you want to start a recycling business, as you can, we have different kinds of recyclables. We have the PET bottles, we have the ions, we have the cans. Can you give me another one that you know? We have the HGP, the PP, that is the plastic, the one you are sitting on. Everything about this place is recyclable. So there is virtually nothing that cannot be recycled. Even when a man is having a bad kidney, they can beckon on somebody, can you give one? So you are being recycled. But your own will not get to that. I say your own will not get to that. So I want you to know that waste is everywhere. I'll still come back to this, but because I want to cover a lot of things for us. So waste is everywhere, and that is why wealth is everywhere. What do I say? Waste is where? Everywhere, and that is why wealth is everywhere. Yeah. There was a time I read it in my Bible that, sorry if you are not a Christian, but it might be in your own knowledge book, okay? So there was a time I read it in the Bible that God told the children of Israel, He said that nothing must be dirty around you. You must pick all the papers, you must take all the desks and everything. I said, wow. So recycling has started ever since. So what you call trash, other people call it cash. So till today, one of the things that I cannot even get rid of my mind is that when I'm watching the television and I see recyclables there, I say, how I wish that this thing is real, and let me grab it. Are you getting me? It's as real in my heart. It's very real in my mind. So what I told you the other time is that waste is everywhere, and that is why your money is everywhere. Now, 3 realities you must know about recycling. 3 realities you must know. Number 1, you must first see debt before you see wealth. When I mean debt, dirty, okay? You must first of all see debt before seeing wealth. I would have said that you must first of all see wealth before you see debt. I'll be motivating you. But I don't want to motivate you. I want to prepare you with what you are going to meet along the line. Am I shouting? I said, am I shouting? Okay. Because I'm trying to force myself so that you'll be able to hear me. So, recycling does not start clean. It does not start with clean things. Though you can start clean. I do tell people that dirty hands in recycling is not a dirty mind. Are you getting me? Dirty hands in recycling is not a dirty mind. That you are picking up things does not make you a dirty person. You are only industrious. And another thing I want you to know about recycling is that it is one of the business that you can start with no money or low money. You can start with no money. When I wanted to start, it's not as if I don't have the money. I'm a minister of God. I go out and there to minister, to preach. In several places, I have books. I sell books. I do a lot of things like that. But I just wanted to stoop so low and say, I can do this thing. So we have the scavengers. The scavengers are all these Aboki pushing about this and that. One day somebody told me and said, Aboki has taken over. I said, no. Aboki has not taken over when I've not taken over. So don't see it as an Aboki business. It is a business for all the populace. There was a time a friend of mine visited China, and when they got there, after everybody ate in the restaurant, everybody started picking everything on the floor. They said, why are you doing this? Even when they went to Olympics, all the people that came from China, they started picking all the desks. They were not looking at them, why are you doing this? Because it has become a culture. So you can turn your life you can turn your hands to a tool of culture whereby you can use it to gather wealth by yourself and make money for yourself. So I said it doesn't start with a clean hand. It starts raw. You must be willing to handle what others reject. Àwọn èèyàn máa ń wò sí iṣẹ́ ẹ̀gbìn, ó máa ń lẹ́gbìn gbà mí o. Tó bá fẹ́ lówó lọ́wọ́, if you want to have money, you need to be able to do some things. Okay? Are you hearing me? I said, can you hear me? So every great recycler, first of all, saw dirt before seeing money. Number two, reality that you must know about recycling is that the biggest hindrance in recycling, can somebody tell me that? The biggest hindrance in recycling. Can you tell me that? Can you try? Can you try? Can you try? Please, can you try? Yeah, my sister, you don't know, just say something. Yeah, thank you, ma. Oh my God. I would have married you if I had not married my wife. I would have used that to compensate you. Please, can somebody clap for her? Thank you so much. The biggest hindrance in recycling, when you are starting on a low scale level, is shame. What will people say? As I'm big like as this, old me. But the truth of it is that it has nothing to do with you. All you need is your nose mask, and you need your gloves, and you need to pocket your shame, or you burn it away and you start making your money. That was how I started. So shame is the biggest hindrance. Many people never start because of shame. They are ashamed of picking bottles, ashamed of dealing with waste, ashamed of starting small. But there is a truth that what you are ashamed of today may be the source of your wealth tomorrow. What you are ashamed of today may be the source of your wealth tomorrow. Number three thing you must know about recyclables or recycling is that opportunity must be grasped and scaled. Now, one of the reasons why in my initial time, not now, okay, in my initial time, is that when I started, I had a vision. Okay? When I started this, I started with a vision in my heart. I didn't say I want to pick like this recyclable, I want to pick only one, or maybe pack 2 bags and go and sell. I said no. What I told myself is that I'm picking one and I want to see it become a mountain. Opportunity must be grasped and scaled. You must grasp the opportunity. It will not come to you. You must be the one to get to it. And for instance, you are seeing this spot bottle now. If I get there and I desire to take it, will I take it? I said, will I take it? I will not take it until I put action. Until an action is actually, in view. Somebody say action. Oh my God. Say action. So turning waste into wealth is not just about seeing it. It's all about acting. I discovered then that one of the things that happened was that, I by the grace of God, God has blessed me for some time. I've been using some cars. I've been using some Jeeps and everything like that. But, because I had a vow to myself that I wanted to make a mountain out of it. When I see some on the road, I just park my car, and there was a day I was wearing a regalia, agbada. I went to preach at a friend's Thanksgiving. I went to preach for him, and I was coming, I saw some PET bottles. I said, if I don't pick this thing, what will happen? So I parked my car, and I started packing it. I placed it. Somebody said, look at this man. This man is doing juju. I could remember a guy that took maybe a can of beer or something, and he threw it on the ground. And I was passing, I just went to do something in my car, and when I saw it, I just picked it. The guy ran after me. So I'm preparing you for what you are going to see. The guy ran after me and started pursuing me. I said, what is it? I said, get out of here. He said, I'm the owner of that. I said, did they write your name there? That if it was an Aboki person that took it, will you fight him? He said no, and he was pursuing me until I opened the boot of my car, and he saw recyclables, and I went there and I brought out a scale for him. He said, Egbon go. He said, you are very wise. So that was what gave him, a kind of ease in the spirit. So prepare for worst when you are going into recycling, especially when you are going to do the picking. But there are another dimension. If you have your money and you have a space, you can scale. You can avoid picking. But let me tell you one thing about it. What you refuse to pick, you pass by, people will pick it and come and sell it to you. And when you are doing this business, another thing I want you to know, don't do it for gain. Do it because you have passion for it. Because if you don't have passion, you may want to run out of it. It is easier said and done. There are some things that you will see, you want to get, you want to buy. And by the time you get there, you see some odor, you want to run away. And that's why you need to be with your what? Your nose mask, your, what do you call it? Your hand gloves. Very important. Don't do it the way others do it. Do it professionally. You can brand yourself by yourself, through yourself, for yourself, and by yourself. Are you getting me? You can wear a jersey that says, I recycle, or I'm a recycler, and you are going about. By the time you are picking it with your canvas and everything, my son, we do it at times. Not because we don't have what to eat. At times we just do it like sports. But not like before, okay? Then you can network with some friends. I said you need to grasp opportunities. There are some of you that are living in estate. You tell them when some of the people are going to the parties, they will just start bringing sacks from you from here and there. And before you know what is going on, you've gotten like maybe 200 kg. And how much is 200 kg now? Don't let me tell you yet. You said I should tell you. You know, I'm a consultant for this. Well, let me just teach you what will make you hungry. See, if you go because of let me tell you something about recycling. When they were buying at 100 naira, December, November, October, I was buying 200 naira. Are you getting what I'm saying? I was buying double the price. What they were selling in the warehouse, I was buying it like that because I knew that this thing fluctuates. But there is a clause to that. You must have a very big space. Nobody taught me that. It just came to my mind. You can make something out of this. So when everybody is saying you don't come down, because, you know, there is a place, you know, we are still going to get there. There is a place of buying. There is a place of sorting. There is a place where you transport. And there is a place where you make your real money. The real money is not just this. The real money is the venture. The adventure. Somebody said that life is a venture that will turn your life into an adventure. So until you venture, you cannot really adventure what you want to do. You will make it. I'm not cursing you. I say you will make it. So you need to structure yourself. You need to picture yourself. You must laugh at yourself before others laugh at you. Don't be intimidated. A woman was actually saying it aloud. Hey, we don't know that pastor can start picking bottles. I was laughing. One day came. I told a man that was living very near, I said, go and calculate everything in our shop. By the time I sell this thing, I can buy everything in our shop. But thank God she's not my customer, so let her be with Awala. So you can become a millionaire within the space of a year if you are serious with recycling. I'm a living testimony. I'm telling you the truth. But one of the things you must do is that you must also learn. You must also learn the basics of recycling. So some of you will have my numbers and some of our numbers so that I'll be able to mentor you, not for anything, okay? So that you'll be able to get it. Now, let us now look at the export side of recycling. Export means selling recyclable materials beyond your country, supplying processed waste as raw materials to foreign industries. You know, in Nigeria, we throw away a lot of a lot of things that we consider as bad. But the people in Canada, in US, in China, and all the environs, they need it seriously. So what you call waste is a raw material somewhere. Are you getting me? But, you know, just like what the MC said the other time, was that a particular woman sold this, I think 12 of these, maybe the bigger one, for how much? For 1,000 naira. I will tell you, don't venture into that. It will be very risky. Why do I say that? If somebody that has TB, tuberculosis, takes it and you put granite oil or red oil inside of it and you give it to somebody, they take it, in that house, they will all be infectious. So don't do something that will make them to come and carry you. So if you want to do recyclables, make sure you are not looking at the high tension money, but you can scale yourself. Anything you take to the company, whatsoever they do with it is not your own business. You get your own money, you scale high. So Nigeria has large population. We are over 200 million. So look at the waste. We have the perishable waste and the non-perishable waste. These ones are not perishable. And let me tell you the reason why you must begin to pick it. The reason why you must begin to pick it, because this one, if it falls into the river, maybe the lagoon where you have the fishes, it can be there for the next 50 years. And it will be secreting chemicals in the lagoon or the river and will get into somebody's body and it can form cancer. So I'm not going to talk about the health side now, but let me conclude by telling you this, please. And I'll round up with this. So, strong closing. Let me leave you with this. If you can change your mindset about waste, you can change your financial future. Step where you are, use what you have, think beyond your environment, because waste that is now local can become a global wealth. God bless you. I'll talk to you some other time. Thank you.